The song Africa was composed by Toto members David Paich and Jeff Porcaro, and it was included in the band's 1982 album, Toto 4. Originally, the idea and lyrics for the song came from David Paich. While experimenting with his new keyboard, the CS80, Paich stumbled upon the distinct brassy sound that eventually became the famous opening riff of the song. Surprisingly, he completed the melody and lyrics for the chorus in just 10 minutes, feeling as though the inspiration came from a higher power. I sang the chorus out as you hear it. It was like God channeling it. I thought, I'm talented, but I'm not that talented. Something just happened here. Paich then dedicated approximately 6 months to refining the lyrics before sharing the song with the rest of the band. In 2015, Paich mentioned that the song expresses a man's love for the continent of Africa rather than a personal romance. The lyrics were inspired by a late-night documentary depicting the struggles and hardships faced by Africans. This documentary left a lasting impact on Paich. As he stated, "It both moved and appalled me, and the pictures just wouldn't leave my head. I tried to imagine how I'd feel about it if I was there and what I'd do." Jeff Porcaro added his perspective, stating, "A white boy is trying to write a song on Africa. But since he's never been there, he can only tell what he's seen on TV or remembers in the past." Additionally, the lyrics depict a story of someone flying in to meet a solitary missionary, as Paich explained in 2018. During his childhood, Paich attended a Catholic school where some of his teachers had engaged in missionary work in Africa. Interestingly, Paich had never visited Africa himself at the time, so he based the song's descriptions of the landscape on an article he read in National Geographic. Interestingly, the inclusion of Africa on the album was uncertain at one point. Steve Porcaro and Steve Lukather described the song as dumb and an experiment, criticizing certain lyrics as goofy, particularly the reference to the Serengeti. According to Steve Porcaro, it was the last song they recorded, and it barely made the cut for the album. At one stage, Jeff Porcaro considered saving Africa for a solo album because other band members didn't believe it sounded like a typical Toto song. During that time, the band was more focused on their album's lead single, Rosanna. The song Africa featured the contribution of Eagles member Timothy B. Schmidt, who played the 12-string acoustic guitar and provided backing vocals. The music video, directed by Steve Barron, depicts a researcher, played by David Paich, in a library attempting to match a torn scrap of a picture to the corresponding book. As he continues his search, a librarian, Jenny Douglas MC Ray, takes notice of him, while natives from the surrounding jungle slowly approach the library. Eventually, the researcher discovers a book titled Africa, leading to a native throwing a spear. Remarkably, the shield carried by the native matches the one in the torn picture, causing a pile of books to collapse. The book Africa opens to the exact page from which the scrap was torn, but a lantern falls on it, setting it ablaze. The video concludes with the librarian's eyeglasses falling to the floor. Between 1982 and 1983, Africa became a global sensation, reaching the top of the main Billboard chart in the US and peaking at number 3 in the UK. It has sold over 6 million copies in the US alone. In recent years, the song has experienced a resurgence in popularity due to its inclusion in various TV shows, movies, video games, advertisements, memes, and YouTube covers. It has been featured in popular productions such as Scrubs, South Park, Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, Family Guy, and Stranger Things.